So I just want to start by talking a little bit about what I mean by impossible possibilities. The bottom line for me in my life is if you can't dream it, you won't do it. An impossible possibility is a future avenue, a change that you want and can benefit from, but you don't believe is possible. Something I've been really inspired by lately is the Japanese concept of ikigai. It's a Japanese concept that's sort of like a raison d'être, like a reason to be. It's the Japanese philosophy behind that. And in that, they talk about the difference between this impossible possibility and incremental improvements. When you set your goals and they are easily achievable objectives that you're sure you can reach, that's not what we're talking about today. Those are incremental improvements. We do those all the time. A radical change goal involves having to change kind of everything, your paradigm to make this thing happen. And oftentimes it's that belief that's holding you back. You know that you want it, you know it would benefit you, but you just don't believe it's really possible. And then, there's a lot of excuses you might throw up for why. The second part of this is by definition of what I'm saying is overcoming yourself. Because a lot of times what stands between you and that impossible possibility is you, your beliefs, your mindset, your knowledge base, potentially, right? There might be things you don't know that could help you get to that impossibility. So, I know a lot of people love affirmations. I love them too. I like to write these like joyous, "You're amazing, Crystal." What I have is a little bit of a twist on affirmations because I started realizing that it's not just about something positive and like self-esteem boosting, but it's really the statement or question you most need to hear or ask yourself. So, for example, back in October last year, I I do this thing where I sometimes I don't know about you all, but I can get overwhelmed with a bunch of thoughts and then I end up feeling kind of numb, like I'm not feeling anything and I'm just sort of in this dead space. That's when I really back up and I say, what's really behind this? And one of these times that I did that, I ended up writing down the thing I most needed to hear. And that was, do I have the energy and the will to change again? Because I had been sitting there, been reinventing myself every year, like just these impossible possibilities. They're great, but they can also be tiring, right? So I had to just ask myself, this is the question I really needed to ask. So I want to give you all a moment, just in silence, to write down a doubt that might have been plaguing you, that might have been on your mind in the shadows. Sometimes I find like a shadow self speaking to me. Take a moment to write down a doubt and think about if there's something you need to tell yourself. And if you're struggling with that part, try to just fill in the blank. Is it possible that? And fill in that blank. What I love about this question is that it's very dynamic, and it's a really helpful practice to start to create for yourself, to really write down what the doubt is, to surface it from the shadows so you can actually work with it. When you're working on things that are that big, it does if you leave those doubts in the background, they're just kind of these invisible energy eaters. And so just taking a moment in any moment to just articulate that for yourself, bring it out of the shadows, put it in the surface, and then just ask yourself, what do I need to hear related to this? Is it possible that XYZ? Who do I need to talk to that might give me a different perspective that can help me see the things I don't know that I don't know? And then the last point I'll share is related to strategy. Strategy at the end of the day, it's the how that you're going to reach your goals this year. Um, there's a lot that can be said on strategy. The thing I want to share has to do with kind of, I guess it's my tagline, but it's what's the possibility in different. What I mean by that, this is a very unique possibility, and it's what happens if in your strategy you're constantly reaching out to people who are totally different than you, spaces or fields that are totally different than yours. The possibility of different, including that in your strategy, is about really seeking what you don't know, who you don't know, and really being comfortable with that. If you've been in the podcasting space for a long time and you don't even have a goal to get into anything else, doesn't matter. Go talk to someone in a totally unrelated field. Go talk to someone who's doing door to door knocking, because you don't know what mental beliefs that person has that could break through a block you might have been having.